Hey everyone, Matt from Total MTG here, and welcome to my next War of the Spark video. It's my top 5 best uncommons from the new set, War of the Spark. Now let me just say, if you didn't see the other video of the top 5 commons, there will be a link below, so make sure you go and check out that video as well. And this is just a little reminder that I am entering the early access event for streaming War of the Spark over on Twitch tomorrow, thanks to Wizards of the Coast for giving me a preview account. So make sure you go and follow me over on Twitch. There's links below, and press that bell so you see the notification of when I go live. And I'll be playing this cool set early thanks to their preview account. But without further ado though, let's get on to my top 5 uncommons, and will there be any walkers that make the list in War of the Spark? So coming in at number 5 for me is Neoform. It costs 1 green and 1 blue. It's a sorcery. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature. Then you can search your library for a creature card with coveted mana cost equal to 1 plus that creature's coveted mana cost that you sacrificed. You get to put that card onto the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter, then shuffle your library. For 2 mana, this is great for Simic. We've seen cards like this in the past, like Eldritch Evolution. You know, cards that literally just make you build up bigger creatures from sacking others. You can do it with sack effects as well that just make it good when you actually do sack the creature. But Neoform seems very, very good. It's a creature tutor with the additional upside of getting a +1/1 counter as well. Now there's going to be some great new creatures to go and search for as well. How about the new FBTLPH? Did I say that right? It's the new Homunculus that if you do get it in from your library, you get to draw 2 cards. Neoform is definitely going to be in some fun brews in Simic colours. And I can see this, you know, it's a great way to maybe ramp out, getting that Llanowar Elves, ramping it into maybe your Incubation Druid as well if you want to. Getting that, you know, huge amounts of mana. It seems very, very strong, this card. I think it will very easily see constructed play, and definitely with the new Savior that people love, this new Homunculus creature, I think it's going to go in Vannifar decks. Neoform comes in at number 5. Coming in at number 4 for me is Lazo Templating. 1 and a blue instant, a mass 1 this has as well. It gives you and permanents you control hexproof until end of turn. With the amass 1, you get to put a 1/1 counter on an army you control. If not, you create that army, so it's going to give you a nice little blocker or a creature and make everything you have hexproof. This is very strong in the colours of blue. Now we do have Dive Down that obviously does protect creatures. That's a nice card, sees a hell of a lot of play. Lazo Templating for 2 mana. It will help you against decks that run Banefire. Although Banefire potentially can't be countered, this can give you hexproof, which means it can't target you because you're not targeting that spell. It can help you against Expansion Explosion. When the ramp decks are just ramping into that and then hit you with a massive one of them, Lazo Templating will help you there as well. So it seems like it's going to be a very good card currently in Standard. This could also see probably sideboard in older formats as well, because it seems very, very good. It's going to help you against burn decks. It's going to help you potentially against decks like Storm ad nauseum, that will obviously run and then basically hit you with other cards later on. Perhaps they don't have all of what they need. They're about to go and storm off and do what they need. They haven't got that Pact to Negation ready in hand yet, but if you play that straight off, you basically will just halter them and they would have to start again because they won't be able to target you, which means they won't be able to kill you. I certainly think this is one of the best spells for uncommon in the set, and it makes a great addition for me in at number 4. Coming in at 3 for me, and we're still not seeing a walker yet, is Dou Viens Veto. I love things that can't be countered, and this spell can't be countered. Counter target non-creature spell for a blue and a white mana. It's going to fit great into Esper decks and blue-white control decks. Control mirrors, this is going to be seen going back and forward. It's going to be brilliant countering target non-creature spell. Just when they think they can maybe get that Teferi onto the field, you stop that Teferi. Seems very, very strong to me, Dou Viens Veto. When you're playing that Jesky player and they've got their Teferis on there, they want to hit you with that massive Expansion Explosion. It doesn't matter if they've got all the mana left, because if you just counter that, it means it's not going to hit you. So like the previous spell, we are getting spells, Dou Viens Veto and Lazo Templating, that are going to help us against a lot of very, very strong cards currently in this format. Uncounterable counterspell, you can sign me up all day long. Dou Viens Veto comes in at number 3. Coming in at number 2 for me is a Planeswalker. At last, I hear you say, it's Saheeli Sublime Artificer. This is a really nice uncommon. Comes in with 5 loyalty. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 colour servo artifact token. This is just reminds me of Young Pyromancer. It does cost 1 more, but it's still a very, very sweet card. You know how good Young Pyromancer was. -2 is a target artifact you control becomes a copy of another target artifact or creature you control until end of turn. It's an artifact in addition to its other types. This for me is probably the best uncommon walker in the whole of the set. It's not only just like Young Pyromancer, but it's very versatile. That minus effect is very, very strong as well. It will work very well with some of the artifacts in the current set. Maybe this is the time that maybe Mox Amber will see a bit of play. The 0 costed artifact might see a little bit of play, and then you can turn this stuff into some very, very powerful creatures. How about some of those flying drakes or flying dragons this could turn into? You've got a little 1/1 and then it becomes a massive flyer because you've got the instants and sorceries in your graveyard. It becomes one of them and then just starts attacking your opponent. I will be very, very surprised if Saheeli doesn't see standard play. It is Pyromancer 2.0 and just does lots of other cool things as well with that -2. Saheeli, very strong, comes in at number 2. So coming in at number 1 for me is Lilianas Triumph. This card just is, well, I think this could see play in all manner of formats. Anyone remember Diabolic Edict? Sees play in a lot of old formats still. This card is very, very similar to it and it just seems absolutely powerful. The fact that it says each opponent sacrifices a creature is good. It doesn't target. EDH. Each opponent, you're going to hit everyone you're playing with as well. If you control a Liliana Planeswalker, each opponent also discards a card. Diabolic Edict has always been a legacy staple, so I can definitely see this card seeing some play. Also, if you run Lilianas in deck, whether that's in Modern, maybe you got the Veil, or maybe in Standard, this is always going to be even better because it's got that upside of that they will discard a card as well. It bypasses Hexproof, Shroud because it doesn't target. The card is absolutely brilliant. It seems really balanced with a Liliana the Veil, like I said in Modern. Modern 8 rack, throw this in as well, run your Lilianas. This card just seems really, really strong. And I can see a lot of people putting this in a lot of decks. Certainly in older formats like Modern or something like that, Boggles had better watch out because this will be coming straight at you. Sacrifice a creature once you've put it all up with all your enchantments. Doesn't matter if you've got Hexproof, doesn't matter if your creature's got Shroud. This is going to hit that creature. Liliana's Triumph, if you've got one on the field, of course. If you've got multiple creatures, there's a little way around it, but I still think Liliana's Triumph is a very, very strong card, especially when you compare it to an older card that's seen play, like I said, Diabolic Edict, in a lot of formats and still is an absolute staple. Liliana's Triumph looks very strong and is my number 1 uncommon from War of the Spark. So that's my top 5 uncommons from War of the Spark. There was only one walker in there, but I feel like it's the best walker in the set. Let me know what is your top 5. Have you got some other walkers? There is some other walkers that I do think are strong, but I do feel these cards in my top 5 were the best for me anyway. And I think they're very strong, and going forward, we'll definitely see play in a lot of these cards. I will be doing my top 5 rare mythics cards on the next video. I think it'll be the next video. Depends if I've got something, something nice coming from Wizards potentially. So I could be opening up on the channel before that. It just depends on the post and, how early, how quick I can get to record the video as well. But for Tuesday, don't forget, I will be on Twitch streaming this in the Early Access event. Thanks to Wizards of the Coast. So make sure you're there. Go down to the below. Hit the Twitch button, go over there, just hit the follow button, and then you'll be there ready and waiting as I play these new decks. And I will play some of your brews if you're around the chat and you've got a brew. I will put it together and try and play it. There could be a few people there, as many as 5, 10. You never know. There could be more. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching the video, guys. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one.